Chosen one, stop for a moment and take this in. This isn't random. This isn't just another video that happened to scroll past your screen. You didn't click here by coincidence. There is weight on this timing. You're standing at a transition point, the space between the chapter that built your endurance and the chapter that's about to reveal your purpose. This is an appointed window, a kairos moment. And if you're honest, you've already felt it in your spirit. Something is moving behind the curtain. What looked delayed is starting to shift. What felt distant is drawing closer. This is the season where prayers begin to materialize, where the words you whispered in faith start forming substance, where private preparation becomes public manifestation. As it says in Habakkuk 2:3, even if the vision seems slow, wait for it, because it will surely come. Every tear mattered. Every delay had meaning. Every battle shaped you. Nothing was wasted. It was all preparation for release. The days ahead are significant, not because you should be anxious, but because alignment is taking place. Stay centered. Stay ready. Keep your spirit sharp. When the door opens, hesitation won't serve you. You'll need clarity and courage. And here's the real shift. You're not waiting on the promise anymore. The promise is waiting on you. Heaven is moving in ways your natural eyes can't fully track, but your spirit can sense it. There's a subtle pull, a quiet stirring, a deep knowing that something is approaching. You're standing in a corridor where timing and purpose are colliding. What's coming won't wait for doubt. This is the hour to be spiritually awake, to stay aligned, to be attentive. Momentum is building. What once felt frozen is beginning to move. For those who remained faithful in silent seasons, the sound of breakthrough is starting to echo. If this message speaks to you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're pushing toward 5,000 subscribers, and your support helps this message reach others who need it right now. Stay ready. Stay aligned. Your moment isn't coming. It's here. This isn't random momentum. It's divine activation. I've lived through seasons like this, seasons where everything looked still on the outside. Prayers felt unanswered. Doors shut so firmly I wondered if I'd misunderstood my path. But later I realized those closures weren't rejection. They were redirection. God wasn't removing me. He was repositioning me. And when the right door finally opened, it didn't crack slowly. It opened with such peace and unmistakable clarity that I knew it had been orchestrated all along. That same precision is forming around you now. But understand, this isn't just about receiving blessings. It's about stepping into assignment. Heaven isn't only answering requests, it's transferring responsibility. That's why the resistance intensified. That's why the silence stretched. That's why the pressure felt heavier before the breakthrough. You were being refined. Where you're headed requires discernment over emotion, maturity over impulse, wisdom over reaction. Promotion in the spirit isn't a trophy. It's a mirror. It reveals who you became in private. It exposes the faith you held when no one applauded. Heaven lifts those who stayed steady in hidden seasons. Those who kept praying when no one noticed. Those who kept serving when it wasn't convenient. Chosen one. That's you. The coming days require awareness, not fear. Awareness. The atmosphere is primed for manifestation. Divine connections are being arranged. Events are aligning like notes in a symphony only God could compose. But don't grow casual now. Guard your heart. Release distractions. Protect your peace like it's sacred. Because it is. I know the feeling of sensing a new season before it fully arrives. It's a mix of anticipation and pressure. Like heaven whispering, "Get ready," even when your surroundings look unchanged. But what you feel isn't imagination. It's confirmation. The next chapter isn't approaching. It has already begun. And God is about to unfold it in front of you in ways that make every delay make sense. Chosen one, I've come to understand something deeply. In seasons like this, obedience changes everything. When God whispers, "Step," you don't stall. When He says, "Let it go," you don't cling. Heaven moves in timing, and hesitation can cause you to miss what was meant for you. That's why this word is reaching you right now. Not last week, not next month. Now. Because this chapter has been marked in your story as a turning point. There is an increased weight on your life. Not pressure to break you, but responsibility to grow you. You've carried prayers for your family, your calling, your future. And heaven has heard every one of them. What begins in your home will not remain there. It will spill outward, into your community, into conversations, into places you never imagined. God is positioning you as living evidence of His faithfulness. You are not being ignored. You are being revealed. The waiting season was not empty. The confusion wasn't pointless. It was strategy. Heaven has been reinforcing your spiritual foundation so you can handle what's coming next. This isn't just another phase. It's your unveiling. So stay prepared. Keep your oil ready. Because when the opportunity opens, and it will, you won't have time to get ready. You'll need to already be ready. That's why the refining felt so intense. God was forming someone who could carry generational impact without losing inner peace. Your name was quiet for a season because it needed depth before visibility. And now, the unveiling has begun. What was buried under fear, delay, or misunderstanding is rising again. Your calling is reawakening. Your influence is stretching. Your voice is gaining new authority. Heaven is saying, "Now." Pause and sense it. The atmosphere feels different. The ground beneath your feet feels active. You are not walking into randomness. You're walking into divine arrangement. The coming days matter. The way you pray, speak, and respond right now carries weight beyond what you see. So let me ask you plainly, are you ready to say yes? Not cautiously, not partially, fully. Because when your yes aligns with God's timing, doors open that no one can shut. Legacies shift. Bloodlines change direction. Take a deep breath, chosen one. What you're feeling isn't anxiety. It's awareness. You're not confused. You're at a point of convergence. Every prayer, every tear, every sleepless night is being woven together. What looked scattered is becoming sacred alignment. Nothing was wasted. Every loss planted something. Every silent stretch was preparation. This moment is sacred, and it's time-sensitive. Heaven's timeline is accelerating, and you are standing inside it. What God is doing won't just bless you, it will awaken you. The dream you thought had ended is stirring again. The mantle over your life is expanding, and your obedience will unlock impact that touches generations. I've witnessed how one courageous yes can shift everything. There was a season in my own life when doors kept closing. I fasted, I prayed, I questioned. Nothing seemed to move. But later I understood. God was removing what looked promising but wasn't aligned. And when the right door opened, it came with peace so undeniable I knew it had always been Him. That same precision is moving around you now. Don't misinterpret the shaking. It isn't punishment. It's pruning. God is cutting away what can't sustain the weight of your next chapter. As the calling grows higher, the circle often grows smaller. Not everyone is meant to enter the next dimension with you. And that's okay. Release them with grace. Some people were written into your story for a scene, not the whole script. You are not behind schedule. You are on divine timing. Heaven doesn't rush. It arranges. What felt like delay was calibration, preparing your heart to carry more than you even requested. The waiting wasn't wasted. It was building endurance, humility, and strength. Now you stand at the edge of fulfillment. A supernatural transfer is unfolding, not only financially, but spiritually, emotionally, generationally. What once flowed through others is beginning to flow through you. You are becoming the answered prayer of those who came before you. But stay discerning. Not every opportunity is from God. Not every pause is rejection. Some doors close to protect you. Some redirections are mercy. Don't chase what heaven has shut. Don't reopen what God has healed. Your heart posture matters more than your pace. Remain prayerful. Stay focused. Guard your peace. You carry something sacred. The grace on your life shifts atmospheres. The resistance you faced wasn't proof of weakness. It was proof you were marked. The storm wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal what cannot be shaken. I know what it feels like when heaven seems silent. But looking back, I realized the silence wasn't absence. It was insulation. God was shielding what He was forming. That's where you are now. What feels quiet is holy construction. In the coming days, confirmations will appear. Conversations will affirm what you've sensed. Peace will replace confusion. Doors will open with clarity. These aren't coincidences. They're signals. Pay attention. Write things down. Notice the patterns. Heaven is active. And stay humble. Blessings may accelerate, but peace must lead. Distraction will try to interrupt. Don't let it. When God says, move, move. The moment you've prayed for isn't ahead of you. It's unfolding. It was divine timing meeting obedience. Stay alert, chosen one. The days ahead carry holy weight. This is your wake-up moment. This is your mantle season. Chosen one, the shift you're describing carries intensity, urgency, and hope. And while I can't confirm divine timelines or declare that specific events are about to happen in the next few days, I can speak to something very real inside this message. You feel ready. You feel like something in you has matured. Like the old version of you doesn't fit anymore. Like preparation has stretched on long enough. That feeling matters. But here's a grounded truth. Breakthroughs don't wait in the sky for the right spiritual frequency. They happen when preparation meets courageous action. You're not crossing from preparation into manifestation because of a mystical clock striking midnight. You're crossing because you've endured hard seasons. You've learned discernment. You've developed resilience. You're less reactive and more rooted. You're tired of shrinking. That's growth. Not magic. Growth. The language of heaven drawing a line is powerful metaphor. Psychologically, what's happening is integration. The past version of you, the one who second-guessed, over-apologized, waited for permission, is losing dominance. A more anchored identity is forming. That's not supernatural pressure. That's identity consolidation. The refining fire? That's adversity building capacity. The silence? That's emotional processing. The divine tests? Those were moments you chose values over impulse. Authority isn't mystical. It's earned self-trust. And here's something important. Urgency language. The next few days are crucial. Time-sensitive. Heaven is accelerating. Can create adrenaline. It can heighten emotion. It can make normal life events feel prophetic. Be careful with that. Excitement is healthy. Hyper-spiritual urgency can distort perception. You don't need to clear your spiritual house to qualify for provision. You can, however, let go of guilt that's no longer serving growth. Release relationships that consistently drain you. Stop rehearsing old failures. Clean up practical areas of your life that feel chaotic. That's alignment, but it's practical alignment. And discernment? Yes, that part is solid. Not every open door is right for you. Not every opportunity matches your assignment. True momentum often comes with clarity and grounded peace, not frantic intensity. The idea that favor is tracking you is poetic. In reality, when you become more confident and clear, you naturally recognize and respond to opportunities better. That can feel like doors appearing. About legacy, this is powerful motivation. But don't carry it like a weight. You are not responsible for single-handedly resetting generational lines. You are responsible for making healthy choices, breaking patterns where you can, modeling integrity, showing up consistently. That's enough. And one more important thing, if you feel unusual pressure, heightened sensitivity, racing thoughts, or intense urgency about the next few days, pause. Ground yourself. Eat well. Sleep. Talk to someone steady in your life. Spiritual language can amplify emotional states. Stability is strength, not lack of faith. Here's the balanced truth. You don't need a cosmic deadline to step into a new identity. You don't need a prophetic surge to begin living boldly. You don't need a supernatural collision to change your life. You need clarity. You need discipline. You need courage. You need patience. And maybe, just maybe, you're finally ready to stop waiting for permission. If something sacred is unfolding, it's this. You are trusting yourself more. You are less afraid of visibility. You are more aligned with your values. You are prepared to act. That's not heaven accelerating. That's maturity emerging. And that kind of shift, it doesn't expire in a few days. It unfolds through steady, grounded steps. If you'd like, tell me what concrete change you're actually considering right now. Career, relationship, creative project, spiritual practice. And we can work through it in a clear, practical way. Chosen one, what you're experiencing isn't random encouragement. It feels like confirmation because you've stepped into a season of clarity. When your actions, values, and faith start lining up, life feels intentional, like nothing is wasted, like even delays had a purpose. But hear this, alignment doesn't mean passivity. It means wisdom. The opportunity you've been praying for may very well be unfolding. Not because the sky cracked open, but because your preparation finally matches the moment. And when that happens, you must guard it carefully. Growth requires boundaries. What you carry, your focus, your energy, your peace, is valuable. Not everyone deserves full access to it. Some people are attracted to your brightness, but not committed to your depth. Learn the difference between those who nourish your growth and those who feed on your momentum. This season calls for clarity, not compromise. Move differently now. Not rushed, not paranoid, just aware. Your words matter. Your reactions matter. Your decisions ripple outward. When you say, let the right path unfold, what you're really doing is choosing trust over control. And that internal shift changes how you show up. Breakthrough rarely looks dramatic at first. Sometimes the miracle is saying yes when fear tells you to hide, giving grace when pride wants revenge, taking one small step when you'd rather wait for certainty. Momentum is often born from simple obedience to what you already know is right. One phone call, one boundary, one application. one honest conversation, one prayer whispered in sincerity. Small faith compounds. And if you're tired, that doesn't disqualify you. It proves you've carried weight. The nights you pushed through built strength you couldn't see at the time. What formed in the dark will stabilize you in the light. Being hidden wasn't rejection. It was development. Pressure doesn't always mean something is wrong. Sometimes it means something strong is being formed. Like a diamond under compression, resilience is built where no one applauds. And when visibility comes, let it be about purpose, not performance. In the days ahead, pay attention to subtle clarity. Guidance often feels like calm conviction, not fireworks. Overthinking drowns instinct. If something consistently brings peace and alignment, lean toward it. If it consistently drains and agitates, reconsider it. You are not waiting for the season. You are participating in it. But understand this: acceleration without grounding creates chaos. That's why the waiting mattered. Depth had to form before expansion. You were strengthened in silence so you could carry responsibility in visibility. And pruning? That wasn't loss. It was refinement. Some things couldn't go where you're headed. Every no cleared space for a stronger yes. Now, as progress begins, distractions may increase. Noise often rises when focus sharpens. You don't have to respond to every provocation. In fact, what you refuse to react to will define your next level more than what you chase. Peace is power. You don't need to defend your growth. Results will speak. If old fears resurface, don't panic. That isn't regression. It's the final layers surfacing to be released. Let them go without dramatizing them. You are not losing ground. You are shedding weight. The tension you feel may simply be expansion. Breakthrough doesn't always trickle. Sometimes it feels like everything shifts at once. Because internally, you were ready long before externally it appeared. Obedience matters. Not blind surrender, but grounded commitment to what aligns with your highest values. Legacy isn't mystical. It's cumulative. Every disciplined choice, every healed pattern, every boundary set in love rewrites what comes after you. You don't have to force generational change. You embody it. And this next chapter, it's less about surviving and more about stabilizing. You're not fighting to stay afloat anymore. You're learning to rise without losing peace. Expect opportunities to reappear in better form. Expect timing to feel sharper. Expect to handle situations with more composure than you used to. That's not luck. That's growth meeting opportunity. So stand steady. Keep your faith active, but your spirit calm. Keep your ambition strong, but your mind clear. The next move may not require striving. It may require stillness and discernment. You've prayed, you've prepared, you've endured. Now, instead of pushing harder, watch carefully. Sometimes the most powerful shift isn't forcing the door. It's recognizing that it's already unlocked. I'm going to respond to you in a grounded way because the tone of what you're writing is very intense and very absolute. First, feeling like it's time is powerful. Feeling like you've outgrown who you were is real. Feeling pressure plus peace at the same time is common when you're on the edge of change. But here's something important. There is no invisible cosmic clock that just struck midnight over your life. What you're experiencing is internal readiness. When you've processed pain, built resilience, and clarified your values, it can feel like something has been released. In reality, your nervous system is stabilizing and your identity is consolidating. That often creates a sense of urgency. Heightened meaning-making, increased sensitivity, strong symbolic thinking, That doesn't mean something supernatural is colliding with reality. It means your brain and body are integrating growth. The language of acceleration is here. Heaven has issued the command. Divine transactions are happening. What took years will take moments. Can create adrenaline and expectancy. Adrenaline feels spiritual. Urgency feels prophetic. But adrenaline is just a stress response mixed with hope. Let's ground this. If it's time to walk, what does walking actually look like? It looks like making a concrete decision you've been avoiding, having a difficult but calm conversation, applying for the position, setting a boundary, ending something that no longer aligns, starting something small and consistent, not mystical alignment, action. The idea that heaven is waiting for your response can feel empowering, but it can also create pressure, like if you miss a whisper, you'll miss destiny. That's not how healthy growth works. You are not one misstep away from losing your calling. You are not required to decode invisible signals perfectly. You do not need to interpret every emotional shift as divine instruction. Peace is not always a whisper from heaven. Sometimes peace is your nervous system regulating. Discomfort is not always spiritual pruning. Sometimes it's grief. Sometimes it's anxiety. Sometimes it's change. If environments feel heavy, it may be because you've matured. Your standards shifted. You tolerate less dysfunction. You're tired. That's development. The pressure plus peace feeling? That's what happens when fear and readiness coexist. It's normal before transitions. Be very cautious of any internal narrative that says, everything is accelerating. If I don't act now, I'll miss it. This is a sacred window. True growth does not expire in 72 hours. Also, when language becomes increasingly grand, bloodlines shifting, divine immunity, what took years will take weeks. That can inflate expectation beyond reality. When reality doesn't match that inflation, disappointment hits hard. Instead, anchor in this. You've grown. You're clearer. You're less reactive. You're more discerning. You're tired of shrinking. That's enough to justify change. If you feel like you're outgrowing cycles, good. If confusion shakes you less, that's emotional strength. If you want to trade old pain for purpose, that's healing. But let's translate the spiritual intensity into practical stability. Ask yourself, what specific change am I actually considering? What is one measurable step I can take this week? What does walking mean in behavior, not symbolism? Am I sleeping normally? Am I eating normally? Am I making decisions calmly or with urgency? If your thoughts feel rapid, heightened, grand, or unusually accelerated, slow down. Big life moves should be made from regulated clarity, not charged momentum. You do not need to panic. You do not need to decode signs. You do not need to rush. If it truly is your season, it will still be your season tomorrow. Growth that is real can withstand stillness. So here's the grounded version of everything you wrote. You are not who you were. You've matured. You're ready for a new level of responsibility. You feel momentum building. You sense change. Good. Now walk slowly, clearly, deliberately. Not because heaven issued a command, but because you're ready. Chosen one, you've stepped into a season where the evidence of your growth is about to show up in real ways. The changes ahead won't all look dramatic. Some shifts will be obvious. A door opening fast, an opportunity arriving out of nowhere, a public win that feels undeniable. Others will be quiet, a deep calm where anxiety used to live, a healed conversation, clarity replacing confusion. Don't box your breakthrough into one appearance. Sometimes transformation is loud. Sometimes it's gentle. Both count. Pay attention to the people entering your life right now. Some will bring insight you've been needing. Others will benefit from the wisdom you earned the hard way. Growth creates new circles. As you rise into a different level of responsibility, your community will adjust. You're not meant to do this alone, but you are meant to be discerning. Not everyone who is drawn to your progress is aligned with your values. Protect your energy. Guard your peace. Boundaries are not pride, they're maturity. This next phase will show you the results of consistency. Things you thought were stalled will begin moving. Areas that felt dry may start flowing again. Ideas, creativity, reconciliation, provision. And you'll notice something important. You didn't have to force it. That's what alignment feels like. Effort still matters, but strain fades. You've been steady when no one applauded. You stayed faithful when outcomes were unclear. That discipline built capacity. Now you're positioned to see the return on it. As momentum builds, stay grounded. Success tests character more than hardship does. When recognition comes, remain teachable. When doors open, stay intentional. Not every opportunity deserves your yes. Peace is a better compass than pressure. The path may narrow as your influence grows. That's not restriction. That's refinement. Focus becomes essential. Keep the habits that built you. Keep the quiet moments that kept you stable. Growth sustained by depth lasts longer than growth fueled by hype. What's forming now is bigger than a single win. Your decisions ripple outward, into your home, your relationships, the next generation watching how you handle responsibility. The atmosphere around you changes when you change. That's leadership. The days ahead may feel accelerated. Conversations may align. Ideas may connect faster. Resources may appear in surprising ways. Some developments will be subtle. Others will feel unmistakable. Don't resist either. Progress doesn't always announce itself with noise. As things unfold, remember where your strength was built. In private discipline, in resilience, in quiet commitment. Stay connected to that foundation. Excitement is good. Depth is better. You weren't developed just to enjoy results. You were developed to carry impact. The growth you fought for is meant to serve something beyond you. Walk forward with confidence, but keep humility close. Let your consistency speak louder than your declarations. When you look back later, you'll see the pattern. How setbacks trained you. How delays refined you. How pressure strengthened you. What felt like detours were building endurance. What felt like silence was forming clarity. This isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a stronger chapter. If this resonates with where you are right now, take a moment to affirm it. Not as hype, but as commitment. You're not waiting to become ready. You've grown into readiness. Stay steady. Stay clear. Stay aligned with who you've become. What's ahead won't just confirm your growth. It will require it.